www.go-jamaica.com, on your mobile phones at tunein.com or nobex.com, or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145, and in Germany 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106 at live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo, and your text messages on 0816. Remember, we have two ears and one mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Make every day a day to celebrate life and be thankful. Look to every day as a day of new beginnings, opening your heart to positive hope and unlimited potential. Take time to pull yourself away from all the noise and just look around you. Take inventory. Appreciate those who have enhanced the quality of your life, and remember that they have been a gift to you. Also, remember that you're a gift to them too. Be grateful for the choices you've made, both good and bad. Accept your mistakes. You can't change them anyway. Apply what you've learned and go on. Use these lessons to help you with your other decisions in life. Appreciate yourself and your own uniqueness. Go outside and look at the sky. Soak in the atmosphere. Enjoy the colors of the landscape. Feel the textures of every place you are that you're thankful for. Smile at the world. Don't allow any negative feelings to creep into your consciousness. Feel the power of your own acceptance. Put a positive spin on every thought you have. Make every day special. Own it. Enjoy it. Bask in the glory of life. Appreciate the gift of your life.
May each day in the week be a good day. May the Lord always watch over you, and may all of your hopes turn to wishes, and may all of your wishes come true. May each day in the month be a good day. May you make friends with each one you meet, and may all of your daydreams be memories, and may all of your memories be sweet. The weeks turn to months, and the months into years. There'll be sadness and joy. There'll be laughter and tears. But one thing I pray to heaven above: may each of your days be a day full of love. May each day in the year be a good day. May each dawn find you happy and gay, and may all of your days be as the one you shared with me today. May each day of your life be a good day and good night.
It's the 7th day of the first month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, and the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor. And there's more. On the 11th of November 2020, 2021 was declared the International Year of Health and Care Workers. Here in Jamaica, the month of January is being observed as Earthquake Awareness Month and Soup Month. Orthodox churches in most Eastern European countries, including Russia, are celebrating Christmas Day today. Yes, Christmas on the 7th of January, according to the old Julian calendar. It's Isra Day in Sudan, St. John's Day in Bulgaria. Tumbes anniversary is being commemorated in Peru, and Victory Day over the genocidal regime is being remembered in Colombia. Hoy es jueves el 7 de enero 2021 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
As lovely as the one you shared with me today. May each day
C'est jeudi le 7 janvier 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service pour une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de ceux parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
your wishes come true. May
All we're saying is it's Thursday, the 7th of January, 2021, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
there'll be laughter and tears, but one thing I pray, to heaven above. May each of your days be a day full of love. May each day in the year be a good day. May each dawn find you happy.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those of you tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free. Listening is free whenever, wherever. Hello, if you have dialed one of the two designated numbers to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953, 0330-606-0953. Those in the United States who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281, 631-359-8281. What's on your mind this afternoon? Looking forward to your feedback on the various platforms. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're logged on to Facebook, in the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll be able to not just hear, but also to see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. And it's the same scenario for those on YouTube. You don't need to have an account to watch channels on YouTube. You just need to go to YouTube, youtube.com. YouTube pops up, and because of the location in which we're situated, it should show this video as one of the trending videos at this time. If you don't see it in the search box, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll be able to see and not just hear what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. We're looking forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. The numbers to call 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. Our text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And we're all over social media: Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Instagram, LinkedIn, BBM, Yahoo Messenger, Tango, WhatsApp, Snapchat. So many ways to reach us here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. There's more after the break.
A good day.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Farmers, you can now control your fungal diseases with Eradicate, a systemic fungicide from Newport First and Jamaica Limited. Eradicate controls coffee rust, leaf spot, black and yellow cicatoca, early and late blight, powdery and downy mildew, and other fungal diseases on your crops. Get your Eradicate at your nearest farm store or at the Newport First office, 2A, 2B Worry Wharf Complex. Take back control with Eradicate.
You see, when I thirsty, I reach for top shelf alkaline spring water. Refreshing, smooth, hydrating.
Top Shelf Alkaline Spring Water for superior taste and energy. Its naturally alkaline pH 8 is higher than all other imported bottled water. With its antiviral detoxifying properties, it strengthens the immune system and supports skin health.
So when you want spring water, drink up and live up with Jamaica's first award-winning Top Shelf Alkaline Spring Water. Available at Lee's Food Fair and Family Pride Supermarket. The Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, in association with our coffee farmers, Jamaica Promotions Corporation, and Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, celebrate their third recognition of Jamaican Blue Mountain Coffee Day on January 9, 2021. Join the events and activities such as the official church service, coffee shop crawl, discounts, promotion in our missions in Japan, New York, Miami, London, Toronto, and much more. For more information, visit their website at www.jamaicacoffee.org. Start the year off right. Earn your associate and bachelor's degree at Brownstown Community College in St. Anne. Now accepting applications for part-time studies in the associate and bachelor's in business administration and the bachelor's in hospitality and tourism management starting February 2021. Apply now and take advantage of our flexible payment plans and affordable tuition rates. Apply online at btcc.edu.jm.
Days be as lovely as the one you shared with me today. May each day of
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program. Both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's greet those of you who have joined us for today's edition of Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's say hello, welcome, good afternoon, and greetings to Harlem Uptown, originally from Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, now living in New York. Welcome, Audrey Smith in Southampton in England. Good to have you join us as usual. Harlem Uptown says, it's my birthday today, Dervan. Big me up. What a way, Jamaica sweet. Big up Lisa Hannah too. Well, happy birthday to you, Harlem Uptown. Thank you for your message and all the very best. I'm sure Ms. Hannah would be delighted to hear your greeting. Sharon Wiles says, greetings, Mr. Dervan, and Happy New Year to you and all the listeners. Happy New Year to you as well, missionary Sharon Wiles. All the very best for 2021 and beyond. Faye Weller says, blessed love to everyone. To you too, Faye Weller. Harlem Uptown says, Mr. Andrew, open up the resort areas. Poor people are suffering. They're complaining and very angry. They can work or make money because you are only helping the all-inclusives. I mean, Harlem Uptown, where you get this thing from? If you're going to be sharing information on this program, please ensure that it is accurate. Please. Yes, we're all being impacted by COVID-19. And if you listen to this program, you would know that one of the things we've been saying is whatever happens, please let us ensure that no Jamaican goes hungry, at least for a start. Let's start there. We can add the other things after that. Let's just ensure that no Jamaican goes hungry. And if you know of Jamaicans who are suffering, Harlem Uptown, send us the information so we can identify those Jamaicans who are suffering, so that we can, starting with your contribution, help to support them here in Jamaica. Since it means so much to you, Harlem Uptown, it would be quite a magnanimous gesture on your part to make that first contribution. Outside of that, we do have agents of the state and agencies of the state, arms of the state, vested with the resources to reach out to those who are less fortunate. And we're thinking of the poor relief departments of the various municipal corporations across Jamaica. There is also the welfare section of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. There's the PATH program that falls under that as well. So there are options. And Yeah, well, let's see. Harlem Uptown, we think you perhaps, uh, if you have been a little intoxicated by the goings on in America yesterday, but this is Jamaica, Harlem Uptown. We're not going to read the rest of what you have here because this is Jamaica. Uh, but all the best to you and thank you for your message. You would appreciate we are the gatekeepers here. We have to be careful in terms of what we air. Thank you very much for your message. Gracie Shim says, good afternoon from cold New Jersey. Welcome, Gracie Shim. Wayne Golding Sr., CD, member of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, says, another Jamaican, one generation diaspora nominated for 2 posts in the Biden administration. He will also name an Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, Kristen Clark, now the president of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under Law and Advocacy Group. Top post. Thank you very much for that update, Wayne Golding. At the appropriate time, once that cabinet is confirmed, in terms of the, would love to discuss with you. And Harlem Uptown again says they are complaining when I ask them, Dervan, why I am here. Well, seriously though, Harlem Uptown, if you feel so strongly about this matter, then start something. You're from Savannah, Lamar, Westmoreland. Start there, Parson Christening Picnic first. Start with Savannah, Lamar, Westmoreland, and assist whomever you can. How about that? Michael Montgomery, hello to you. Sharon Wiles says, I just stayed at an all-inclusive hotel for 6 nights in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. So that is not true information. So she's speaking in reference to Harlem Uptown. She says, Harlem, please get your information correct. And she says, please read a WhatsApp message from me. I'll check for the WhatsApp message in a moment. Sharon Wiles. Didier Gomez Alvarado, bienvenido, welcome. Harlem Uptown says, I buy people food on the street that beg me, Dervan. The country need to open because all the tourists are tested negative for COVID. So how can we bring it to Jamaica? Well, you know, Harlem Uptown, it's very easy for you to speak from where you are. And maybe you're not taking cognizance of what's happening where you are either, to recognize what's happening here in Jamaica within a context. But anyway, Harlem Uptown, we see your message. Didier Gomez Alvarado says, saludos desde Costa Rica. Welcome, Didier. Thank you. You have a French first name, Didier, Didier. And there's the famous footballer, Didier Drogba. Right, French. So you have a French first name and Spanish Christian names, Spanish surnames, French Christian name. Maybe you can explain that to us. Merinda Roddock, hello to you. And Sharon said, I had to wait 2 hours in KFC line every time to get a piece of chicken. So most people not so hungry. Sharon Wiles. Well, rain or shine, snow or sleet, good times or bad times, those lines at KFC are always there, and they will always be there, no matter how we don't get what we ask for or what we pay for, because people don't pay attention, customer service reps from time, no matter what people go through at KFC or whatever, they are still joining the lines. So clearly something must be in the chicken in Jamaica, there's an expression where they talk about tying somebody. Usually, they talk about yeah, yeah, tying somebody. Let's leaving it that. Those who know what we're talking about. So maybe, and the best tying dish we're told is stew peas. So I don't know. I don't know. There's some hook there in whatever is happening at KFC that keeps people uh, uh, just going back for more, no matter the lines, no matter the time of day, no matter how broke they are. KFC it is. People come to Jamaica. Jamaicans come to Jamaica, and one of the things they usually buy to take back to America is KFC, because KFC in America apparently is quite greasy. It's just not the same. And yeah, bland. Yeah. So they buy KFC here in Jamaica and take back. After all this talk about KFC, I'm going to send the bill to Tina Myers Matalon and the team at Restaurants of Jamaica for talking about KFC. And we haven't even mentioned the fact that the first, when they started selling KFC in Jamaica, KFC was a side dish, you know. Where KFC Crossroads is now used to be Top's restaurant, and they used to sell Jamaican food. And KFC, a piece of KFC chicken was like an aside, until eventually KFC set up the first location in 1975. The first KFC location was set up in 1975 across from Jamaica College, and it's still there. That's the KFC on Old Hope Road. First KFC location to be set up. And the Colonel himself came to Jamaica some years ago and was very impressed with how Restaurants of Jamaica was operating the brand. So there you go. Right. No, please, you don't need to send us any chicken. Tina Myers Matalon and the team at KFC. We're just stating the facts. And there goes Sharon Wiles now starting a discussion on that, saying that KFC in America tastes nasty. Jamaica is the best. And Gracie Shim agrees. Joseph Edwards says, good day to you, Dervan. I have a new book out. It's entitled Colored Views. In it are poems, I Can't Breathe, Dear Dad, Mother, It's Me Again, and Money is Not Everything. Jamaicans need to know of it. It touches on many things. Well, we just read your message and they would have heard of it. Joseph Edwards, thank you for your message. When we come back, an update on developments in the United States. In fact, we have a minister of religion who is also a justice of the peace, a counselor and mentor who is going to be joining us right after the break. What happened in America yesterday?
Wishes, and may all of your wishes.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Enter for a chance to win $200,000 in cash and prizes in Liland's Ham-tastic Christmas giveaway. Buy any Lily's ham, leg, or picnic along with 2 packs of our 1-pound medium to large assorted shrimp to enter while stocks last. For more information, check our website, lilandlimited.com, Facebook and Instagram pages at Liland Limited, or call us at 960-4422, 960-8056, or 960-4507. Promotion runs from November 9, 2020 to January 8, 2021. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Liland Limited. Celebrate good times with good food and good friends.
Mental disorders increase the risk of getting ill from diseases such as HIV, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. Protect your mental health. Call the Mental Health Helpline at 888-NEW-LIFE. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
With each one you meet, and may all of your daydreams be memories, and may all of your...
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And just to bring you up to speed with what is happening right now, further to the developments in the United States. Yesterday, quickly, Elaine Chao becomes first member of Trump's cabinet to resign over Capitol riots. Some Trump administration officials resign while others stay to prevent chaos. Trump's deputy national security advisor resigns. First, the First Lady's chief of staff and White House social secretary resign after violent protests. And this president should not hold office one day longer, is another of the stories. Those are some of the sentiments being expressed. That last sentiment there by Chuck Schumer. Well, let's get a fresh perspective from Justice of the Peace, Minister of Religion, Counselor, Mentor, among other things. Shane O'Connor, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, good afternoon, Dervan. I'm well. Happy New Year to you and to the staff at Power 106 and also to the listeners both here and abroad.
Happy New Year to you too, and thank you very much for your warm New Year greetings. You've been following developments. Well, you usually are in touch with the latest, what's happening here, what's happening there, locally, regionally, internationally, and you've been watching the situation in the United States of America over the last 4 years or so, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had what we had yesterday. Where were you? How did you get the news of what was happening yesterday? And what was the first thing that came to mind as you were brought up to speed with what was unfolding on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. yesterday?
Like most Jamaicans who have family members overseas, we tend to focus a lot on, what's happening there, especially on the political front. And as everyone should be reminded, last year we had our own local elections, and then on the crest of that came the U.S. elections, which I think was carried even stronger overtones as to the kind of year we were having and the kind of year we potentially would have. And I was here at home. I've been following the political landscape there, especially since Donald Trump came into prominence. And I have gone to several of his rallies online, of course, and listening to his rhetoric, looking at the numbers, not being swayed by the numbers, but looking at the numbers and trying to compare and contrast both candidates. And especially in response to coronavirus, we've spoken on 2 occasions about that. You kind of wanted to see how they would balance the political campaign, the level of responsibility that would come with running a political campaign, while at the same time balancing the whole coronavirus effort. And then I saw the movie. It's like you're going to a theater and you saw, you've been a part of the advertisements, and now, there's this, a new movie coming out and they're showing this advertisement. And the whole saga just looked like a trailer for an upcoming movie. Yeah. In real time. Prior to that, I was actually watching the speech that he gave, I think an hour or so before they made the move to Capitol Hill. And what came to mind was I was shocked in the sense that I saw it in real time. It was actually happening. As was stated by news anchor, these are the things that you see in third world countries. These are the things you see in other countries. But to see it in your own country sends chills up the spine. And I felt exhausted because, this felt like a culmination, something that has been, brewing for a while, and now it kind of spilled over. And you're saying, how did it come to this? Those are my thoughts.
Yes. What is, you speak of watching some of these rallies virtually and what President Trump has been saying over time. To what avail? What is your sense of President Trump, having listened and watched and read?
I think I have mixed emotions about it. I think overall, minus the pandemic, in a sense, he would have won the election because he had the kind of support necessary to get in there. He had the kind of support to get in there. But his campaigns ended up being pretty much the same thing, the same rhetoric. And to me, it felt like he was not operating from the platform of president, but he was actually functioning from the platform of an individual who is wanting to be given an opportunity to become president. He spoke to issues that currently were operating in the country, for example, Black Lives Matter, the whole, the coronavirus going on, Antifa. These are the issues that were considered, and just to a large degree still considered, conspiracy theories. And he was pushing these theories as if his opponent was the one who was in power and driving these issues. And he, in his ability to sell himself, he sold himself as one who had the answer for all the issues and all the challenges that the country had, but from the platform of an individual who was looking to go into office and not one who functioned from office. So it was very it was mind-boggling. You're listening to several stops. You see him going to several stops, and he's pretty much saying the same thing over and over again. And you walk away with the impression that he's trying to sell you the idea that he can be president, as opposed to him actually being president and doing something about a lot of the challenges they were experiencing. I think credit has to be given to him in terms of how hard he worked, especially after getting the coronavirus. How hard he worked to be on the campaign. The campaign meant everything to him. He loved campaigning. He loved being in the midst of the crowd. He loved the energy, and he gave his best shot to his campaign. But it was just difficult to mentally connect, not just with what he was saying or how he was saying it, but the fact that he's the one who is actually in charge, and pointing the finger at someone who is not in charge, but giving the impression that all these things that are happening in the country is somebody else's responsibility, somebody else's fault.
But he has a lot of support in America, as we have seen, 70 odd million people who voted Republican, and a tremendous amount of support from the church. Not just in America, but as we have seen in recent times, right here in Jamaica as well.
Oh yes.
So one would expect you to join the choir, Shane O'Connor, as a minister of religion.
Well, fortunately, as we all know, there are some songs in the hymn book that can be done to different tunes, and they can be sung at different pace. And so one can understand why persons of faith or Christians would want to swing with the Republican Party, because they are more conservative and seem to be more spiritual or more reflecting that of the Christian church and the Christian faith. But there is a lot more to leadership than just your affiliation, or what would seem to be an affiliation with the faithful, or the sacred. Not because you just walk up and say that you're a Christian, it means that I should just be connected with you, lock, stock, and barrel. There's a whole lot more, especially leadership, character, integrity. There are a lot of traits that go into being a good leader that I believe the church really believed the president could go up into. But unfortunately, it seems as if he was just not able to do so. And so for me, he representing the Republican Party, and the Republican Party holding firm to certain truths or ideals that, yes, as a believer, I would hold to. There are other things that would make me have a very difficult time casting a vote for them or even voting at all in this current, or in the past rather, election for either side, because of how it impacts my own ideals, looking through the lens of the Bible, the Christian lens, the godly lens. It becomes very, very difficult to make a decision for him or for any candidate for that matter.
So, is there? I see a story popping up, breaking story. Nancy Pelosi calls for Trump to be removed from office, according to the New York Times, and there are other calls that are coming. The fact that the development at Capitol Hill was eventually brought under control, and President Trump subsequently said, all right, in his own way, that okay, we will have a peaceful transition, and he has just a couple of weeks left in office. So should those looking on, whether in America or elsewhere, just wait it out, or so to speak, or do you feel action should be taken, as some are putting forward, against President Trump for what happened yesterday?
I think that question is a question that needs to be answered with a question, and I'll elaborate. That's a very good question, Dervan. Here's a question I would ask: how much do you love democracy? How much do you love truth? One has to, especially when you're at the pinnacle of leadership, you are the example by which everyone looks to. They're expecting you to model leadership, to model character, to model integrity, to model truth. And failure to do so, especially if you have a setting where someone has been vested with power, and that individual can determine to wield power in one way or the other. And at the lower levels, individuals succumb to that power, that kind of power being wielded by other individuals. But at the top, it is not applicable to that individual. Then therein lies your challenge.
Tell us more about that challenge after the break, please. We're speaking with Shane O'Connor, Minister of Religion, Justice of the Peace, counselor, mentor, and public commentator, giving us his perspective on the current situation, the most recent developments in the United States of America.
And the months.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Bashco time. All the things that you need. Bashco. Prices so low, you will never need alone at Bashco. Tell it. At Bashco. Bash, where you shopping? Appliances, household furniture and rugs, gifts and linens and glass and mugs at Bashco. Where you shopping? At Bashco. Tell them. Whether they not or so, they got the east and the west. Show them all over, they must be the best at Bashco. Where you shopping? At Bashco. Again. At Bashco. At Bashco. At Bashco. The store that gives you more.
Your wishes come true.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Our guest is Shane O'Connor, Minister of Religion, Justice of the Peace, counselor, mentor, and a public commentator, giving us his perspective on developments over the last 24 hours in the United States with respect to the storming of Capitol Hill, the seat of government in the United States of America. To the challenge you were pointing to now in responding to the question as to whether action should be taken against Donald Trump, people are saying they should invoke Section 4 of the 25th Amendment. But I'll allow you to finish making the point you were making going to the break.
Okay, whether one should impeach or one should invoke the 25th Amendment is left up to the sovereign nation of the U.S. to determine. What the angle I'm taking this from is simply he being leader and he being an example, the example of one in his country and by extension the free world of how one manages his term now, law and order, how one goes about responsibilities, duties, fulfilling, meeting the challenges of life, and specifically, the coronavirus, economics, etc., etc. When you look at his body of work, and especially in the last year, one of the things that persons raise is the issue of his character. So yes, when you look at his overall body of work in terms of what he was able to accomplish, he has some things that is notable in terms of what he was able to accomplish. We give him that. But when you look at his character, which is now a buzz term, which has all of a sudden, come up from the ashes. Character really matters a lot in how you lead people. And out of character is the issue of trust. It's interesting. Abraham Lincoln put it this way: character is like a tree, and the reputation is like its shadow. The shadow is what we think of it, and the tree is the real thing. Mm-hmm. So when you look at what, and Abraham Lincoln, of course, I believe is the only other president, according to this current president, who is better than he is. I've heard him make that statement. He's the second best president of all time. But this president is talking about, Abraham Lincoln is talking about the importance of character, right? And when you look at the issue of character, John Maxwell puts it this way: gifts and talents are given to us, but character is developed by us. Did he take the time to develop his character over that period of time? Our character is crucial because it earns the trust of others. Yes, we have 70 million persons who trust him, but the things he said, the things he did, how he said it, how he did it, his consistency, has it inspired young people? Has it inspired children? Are these the values we want to pass on to the next generation? These are the questions that have been raised and are being raised when you look at his body of work. And and that's applicable to all leaders. Only good character gives us lasting success with people. Yet, before the program, our conversation started, Dervan, you talked about individuals who are resigning.
Yes.
Why are they resigning? They're resigning because when they looked at of where they have now reached as an administration, it's difficult for them to want to associate themselves with that. When they look at it, they don't want to have their name affiliated with the Capitol being stormed by a quote-unquote mob. Strong character communicates credibility and consistency. Well, we can give him points of consistency, but is he a credible individual or is he more incredible? And our character colors our perspective. And so when we look at the US now, when we look at ourselves as a globe, how do we look at life? How do we look at competition? How do we look at dealing with losses? How do we look at winning? How do we factor ourselves into the ebb and flow of life in terms of how we deal with the challenges that come our way? And finally, We cannot rise above the limitations of our character. And the truth is, all leaders, all human beings have limitations. And some persons have allowed their limitations to affect how they lead. In this case, a person like the president had the opportunity to win an election, but in my opinion, did everything to lose. So it's like, when you attack the West Indies team and you state that they rescued defeat from the jaws of victory. You had the game to win. You had the election to win. But with every statement you made, with every tweet you put out, with every person you ignored, with every protocol you broke, with every absence of your presence, it caused persons in their minds, regardless of ethnicity, to ask the question, is this person of a character that I can follow, that I can invest in, that I can approach, that I can, is he exemplary? And so when I look at all of that, Dervan, I'm saying to myself, when you look at the little boy or girl, even in our Jamaican context, and we award or reward or we ignore something that an individual who is influential or connected or powerful does, and we explain it away, how do you now do that to the young person, to the middle-aged person, to a person who operates within society? How do you explain to them that it works here, but it doesn't work for you? If the rule of law and order is to permeate the society, where we all agree that this is how our society is to be nurtured and developed and groomed, how then do you now allow a individual, president or not, to escape the long arm of the law while punishing everybody else? Now, I'm not talking about impeachment or anything, but the truth is, he has used powers that he is being given, and this is coming from media now. We know that there is the leftists, and we know that the media is fake, but this is what has come forward in terms of his character. The slander. I remember somebody saying to me recently that it is possible in the 21st century to literally say anything you want about a person or about a system, and nothing happens because you are a powerful individual. That's applicable to him. The abuse of power in terms of pardons that he has given out. He has pardoned good persons, but it seems in recent he has pardoned individuals who have been found guilty by courts, right? The conspiracy theories, the quote unquote lies that he has allowed the system there to be permeated with, the bullying of state officials or of an opponent. These are the things that you're teaching persons at the lower level not to do, and you're telling them that there are repercussions for your actions. And when you do not award them with what they have done, meaning you discipline and you punish, that's why you have courts and that's why you have law enforcers to do so. But if you don't do that for the person at the top, how are you going to control the persons who are below? Yeah. Which is the difficulty we have in Jamaica too, where certain persons can break certain laws, and we naturally reflect, we naturally state, oh, they're going to get away because they know that person, or they're an entertainer, or they're a politician. But the moment it happens to a little man, the little man, you know the long arm of the law is going to come down swiftly and heavily on that individual because you're trying to make them an example. But the person who is connected gets away with a slap on the wrist. And if you groom a nation that way, you are not only creating inequality, but you're creating different sects who will now find different ways to destroy democracy, for want of a better phrase.
Speaking of this destroying democracy, as we wrap, will the rest of us just look at yesterday as a blip on America's reputation, image, etc., or is it bigger than that? Is the breach so so wide, so deep, that it has done irreparable damage to America's democracy?
I think that it can be repaired, but it's going to take a mighty long time. I think the damage is severe. I think the players involved have tarnished their reputation. When history is revealed, it will not speak well of them. I think the church in the States, and by that I mean those who were affiliated with the president, those who were his spiritual advisors, those individuals have taken a massive hit because after the election is over as it is, and now new leadership has come to the fore, their struggle, the church, is to continue the work that the Lord left for them. But they have tarnished their reputation by making their primary focus the political front instead of the principled front. And then when you look at this new government, they are going to have to try and convince 70 odd million persons to trust them, to trust media, to trust the electoral system. I'm not here saying that you didn't have challenges within the system, because all political systems have challenges. But how the information was disseminated, how the machinery was made to function, the way this whole thing unfolded only served to injure the high voter turnout for the next opportunity. I think America can recover to a certain extent, but the time it took to get them to this point, it is going to take that much time and more to help them to recover, where the world looks at them in a nice, glowing, shiny figure. It is going to be difficult for them to say to the world, trust us, look at us, we are your example, listen to what we're saying, because of how they have managed how they have run their home this particular 4 years, especially in the last year with coronavirus and the like. But if I'm allowed to add one more thing, Dervan, I say this as it relates to the church. I'm putting this out to all those who listen to your program all the time, especially those who are believers. I'm saying this to you. Spend more time reading the Bible instead of listening to individuals who come to tell you that the Lord said. The biggest issue that the church is now going to have moving forward is trying to convince individuals out there that God actually speaks to his people. And I'm saying this, Dervan, because it's something that really angered me during the process. He speaks through his word primarily. That's where he speaks. And he can motivate an individual, he can encourage an individual, to do great things. But when you have individuals who come out and say, God said to them, and it's not come to pass, it throws a very dark shadow on the church, because unbelievers don't look at different denominations and decide to, make a distinguish in one way or the other. It is church. And church people have done this and church people have done that. There were church persons who did not join the groundswell of individuals who came out as prophets, who said, God said. And when you invoke the name of the Lord and you say that God said, and it ends up being wrong, Dervan, when you do that, you are labeled a false prophet according to the Bible. And you ought not to be given a hearing thereafter. Because it is not as simple as just saying, I'm sorry, and moving on to something else.
We're moving on to another segment, but we'll definitely have to have you back on. Who knows? Maybe within the next 4 days, the next couple of weeks or less, at the rate at which things have been going. Shane O'Connor, thanks as usual for your fresh perspective. All the best. We'll talk again pretty soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Dervan. All the best to you and your listeners.
Good. Take care.
Enjoy. There'll be laughter.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
I pray to heaven above. May each of your days be a day full of love. May each day in the year be a good day. May each dawn find you happy and gay. And may all of your days be as lovely as the one you shared with me today.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And we thank Shane O'Connor, Minister of Religion, Justice of the Peace, counselor, mentor, public commentator, for his perspective on developments in America. We're going to change gear now because there is a lady who has been at the forefront of the evolution of reggae music in Jamaica. She is founder at VP Music Group, Mrs. Patricia Chin. She has written a book, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey Book. Let's get ready to welcome her. Here's Toots, Do the Reggae.
I want to do the reggae, girl, with you. Come on to me, let's do the dance. This is the new dance, playing around the town. You can move to baby, then you do the reggae, you do the reggae.
I don't know if Miss Pat knows how to do the reggae. Let's say hello and welcome to Mrs. Patricia Chin. How are you? Happy New Year. Is she there? Hello? Did we lose connection? Oh dear. So we need to reconnect with Pat Chin, representing her book, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey. My Reggae Music Journey book. She is co-founder of the VP Music Group, and all proceeds from the sale of this book will go to fund VP Records Foundation. And the foundation will focus on keeping music in schools in Jamaica and the greater Caribbean diaspora, involvement in the preservation of reggae music as part of Jamaica's heritage will also be a priority. Sorry, we had Miss Pat on the line and then we lost her. Good afternoon to Michelle Williams and the team at VP Records. Not sure if you're aware, but we have lost Miss Pat. Let's try and get her back on the line. If you can call us back, please, so we can get this segment up and running. But that is the story that we're moving to now. Taking a look at this publication, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey Book, which chronicles the work of the Chins in the nurturing of reggae music. But what is quite magnanimous here is the fact that the proceeds of this book, from the sale of this book, will be used to fund the work of the foundation, the V&P Foundation. I believe we have Miss Pat rejoining us. Hello, Happy New Year to you, Mrs. Patricia Chin. How are you?
I'm fine. Happy New Year to you too. Sunny New York is just as sunny as Jamaica. Thank God.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, well, thank you so much for joining us. What? First of all, I have to ask you, what kind of year was 2020 for you and the team at VP Records?
Well, all over the world we had a shutdown, but we're looking for better days this year. Still had a staff working from home. And, as we said, we never give up. We just have to keep going. Hopefully, we'll have a better year for the 2021.
And so say all of us. Now, let's talk about your book, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey book. For those who are yet to get a copy, give them an idea of what to expect from this publication, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey book.
Well, My Reggae Music Journey, it is a book that tells my story from I was born until now. And my journey in the music business for the last 60 years. And a lot of pictures. It's 200 pages. And most important thing, it's for my foundation. The proceeds will go to my foundation for music schools, especially Alpha Boy School and other music schools, and also for different events to celebrate our culture all over the world. And pick up a copy. You'll see what it is. It's a beautiful coffee table book, 12 inches by 14 inches with 200 pages. It's about my story and my journey throughout the 60 years that I've been doing reggae music and continue doing reggae music because it's my culture. I was born in Jamaica, lived in America for the last 40 years, but still have never forgotten my culture and my music.
Where in Jamaica are you originally from, Miss Pat?
Well, I was born in Greenwich Farm, and then I grew up there, and then I moved to 17 North Parade, where we had a record store and a studio, and that was from 1958.
And you said that would have been your parents?
Yeah, my husband and myself started the store from 1958.
Oh.
And before that, I was born in Greenwich Town. My dad is East Indian and my mother is Chinese. So I grew up in Greenwich Farm, went to Greenwich Town Government School until I was 18, married my husband, and started Randy's Record Mart at 17 North Parade.
And how was it in those early days in getting this business off the ground?
Well, 60 odd years ago, everybody was young. The artist was young. Reggae wasn't a culture at first. It was all American music. We used to import a lot of American R&B, and it was just R&B, RJR and JBC. Reggae was not a part of our culture until reggae. First of all, it was ska. It was mental then ska. Then it comes to where it is now, dancehall.
Yes.
Then it goes all different circle with beats and dances and everything until we are here now over 60 years.
Yeah. And they give us a sense of how the business has evolved. I mean, when you look back at where the business is coming from, in terms of Randy's record, for example, how what you used to do then as a business to where you are now? How significant have those changes been? Major, not give us a sense of the changes over the years in your business.
Well, looking back, I really didn't realize, and I can never imagine that it have become such a global phenomenon where it is today. In my travels and all over the world, I could see that reggae has found streams all over. In the past, it used to be the whole 45 vinyl. Then it come to a 7-inch, then 12-inch, then LP and CDs, and now we are doing digital and streaming. So it has made a big leap of different types of different way of selling the music. But today I should say that with streaming, it's a very exciting time because we not only can hear the song, but we can see the artist singing, dancing, moving, and a little of the culture is being showed in the background. At times, if they have a live recording, you will see the musicians playing, which is much more than just hearing the music. You see the people actually singing. You see their emotions. So I love this age. I love this age very much.
Well, how does it affect the bottom line? Since the access to music seems to be so liberal, anybody can listen to music wherever and run it off, whether legally or illegally. How has that affected the profitability of the business of VP Records?
Well, like everything else, things and times and changes. So we have to go with the time. We have to be a part of what the revolution is telling us. We have to do streaming. We have to have new customers. How do we sell the product to make money? How do we protect the artist's royalty? It's a business access, our way of doing business. We have to be on the curve. We have to know how to diversify the business, what to sell vinyl and what we sell physical from what we sell downstream. So I think it's more complex, but in the end, you have to be on the curve. You have to know what's going on. You have to change with time. Nothing stays the same. So we just have to change as time goes on.
What is it about the music business that has kept you keen, interested, committed, and still going 60 years and counting? That is remarkable. What is it about this business that has kept you going and other members of the family and the team?
Well, our culture is such a rich one. Wherever you go over the world, you could hear reggae music playing. Music never dies, regardless of how old it is. When you hear music for the first time, it brings you that same joy. So as you grow older, you love different types of music. It brings emotion back. And if you're young, you want to know what happened years before, so you go back to listen to the old music. It's our culture. Yes. It's our culture. We're born in the culture, so we just have to stay in the culture because we love our culture. And music is one of the most powerful tools that brings people together, regardless of where you're from, regardless of what country you're from. Music is what binds us together. So I think music on a whole will never die. Whatever format it comes in, it is here to stay, especially reggae music.
And we're going to ask you to stay on the line for a moment. Bear with us, please. We need to take a break and we come back with more. Listeners, our guest is Mrs. Patricia Chin, one of the co-founders of VP Music Group. She's the author of My Reggae Music Journey. And we'll tell you some more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
COVID-19 is still here. Always wear your mask correctly while in public places, covering your nose and mouth at all times. Masks should never be worn over the head, under your chin, below your nose, or hanging from your ears. Recovery from COVID-19 can take up to 60 days or more. The mask or the ventilator? You choose. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, in association with our coffee farmers, Jamaica Promotions Corporation, and Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, celebrate their third recognition of Jamaican Blue Mountain Coffee Day on January 9, 2021. Join the events and activities such as the official church service, coffee shop crawl, discounts, promotion in our missions in Japan, New York, Miami, London, Toronto, and much more. For more information, visit their website at www.jamaicacoffee.org. Start the year off right. Earn your associate and bachelor's degree at Brownstown Community College in St. Anne. Now accepting applications for part-time studies in the associate and bachelor's in business administration and the bachelor's in hospitality and tourism management starting February 2021. Apply now and take advantage of our flexible payment plans and affordable tuition rates. Apply online at btcc.edu.jn.
We want to be ready. God is ready. My baby, come ready. Girl, come on down.
I miss those days. Remember the songs used to make you rock away. Those were the days when love used to reign. Hey. We danced all night to the songs they played. We can come again, do it just the same.
Rockaway, Beres Hammond. Listeners, our very special guest is Mrs. Patricia Chin, popularly known as Miss Pat. Along with her husband, Vincent, they started Randy's Record Mart by reselling used records out of their shop at 36 East Street in Kingston, Jamaica in the late 50s, as you heard Patricia Chin telling us a short while ago. Well, she has written a book, an autobiography, we can call it. It's called Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey. Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey. And apart from the history, which you know we love history, we are impressed by the fact, and maybe impressed is not the appropriate word, but we're delighted to know that the proceeds from this book will be used to fund the work of the V&P Foundation. And if you need more information on the foundation, you can go to www.vandpfoundation.org, vandpfoundation.org. And as you heard Miss Pat describing the book itself in terms of the story, her journey, as the book is titled, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey, and lots of pictures to boot as well. So, Miss Pat, thank you so much for holding the line.
Thank you also.
Right.
It's a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, it's a pleasure being here, having you here on both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. How would you describe the business right now for those who don't understand? When they see the mark VP or VP Music or VP Records or whatever, they're not quite sure the nature and extent of the work that VP Records does now. Can you spell it out for them? So they can make the connection. Maybe they're benefiting from your work and don't even know it.
Well, it's a journey. I would say to the young singers who wants to sing, they have to work a lot on themselves. When we started in selling used records, and then we created a studio where people would come and use the studio and sing. And from there, we did a distribution, all labels, because back then, most of the producers had their own studio. So they only sell their records. But what I did and what my husband and myself did at Randy's, we created a one-stop store that we could sell everybody's label. And from there, we started one step at a time, and then we built a studio where people would come and sing, whether they want us to release their records or they want to distribute their records from themselves. We're open. We're very open. We will help them and guide them. And if they do well, we do well. But it's hard work. You have to be passionate in what you do. You have to work hard. And I was listening to your program before this. Nothing comes easy. We have to have patience, passion, work hard, and really put all your energy in whatever you do. And that's all I can say. 60 years working, I've seen it all. But I am very happy where I am, that I'm helping others, I'm paying forward, and I haven't forgotten my culture.
Well, let's talk about that, helping others, because the proceeds of the sale of your book, Miss Pat, My Reggae Music Journey, will go towards the work of the foundation, the V&P Foundation. Tell us some more about the foundation and the work of the foundation, please.
Well, in the past, during my course of business, myself and my husband, we always feel like to give back is the best thing. And I've been doing it for so many years. So last year we decided to start the foundation so that we can be, more open and more helpful to others in different ways. So what we have decided to do is after the proceeds of this book, and we'll go to Vincent and V&P Foundation, and it is to help musicians, singers, whatever we can do to embrace our music. And we have been contributing to Alpha Boys School because so much great singers and musicians have come from Alpha Boys School. That's one of my biggest charities. So we're just encourage the young people who want to sing, continue to do your dream, work hard, have a passion in what you do. And yes, we will help whenever we can because we have been here 60 years. We know how it works. We know not all time you're going to make a hit, but whatever you do, have a passion in what you do. And all I can say is that we have always given back, and the foundation will help me now to make it more broader, that I can have more funding to help more in my culture and my music.
And finally, what do you regard as VP's crowning moment, or is it that you've had a few of those or many of those moments over the 60 years?
Well, when the artist does well, we feel so happy for them. We share their joy. It's not every time you make a hit, and it's not every time you're going to be so successful. But our goal is always to embrace the culture and to keep going and develop new artists, develop new talents, and to showcase them as best we can. So my crowning glory is when they make the hit. I feel so proud of their success. When I did my 25th anniversary at Radio City Music Hall, and when I see my bright lights with my name, I felt so good. I couldn't believe that I'm living in America, and here is it, a big reggae performance. And we brought up so many singers and musicians and talented people from Jamaica. And, sometimes when I'm driving in the summer and I'm stopping at the stoplight, like a 4-lane traffic, and I hear people playing the music left and right, I just feel so happy. I just felt like in Jamaica. Which you said your story is both sides of the story, right?
Yes.
So give you some of my success, but I can also give you some of my sadness.
Really?
Leaving Jamaica was not an easy thing for me. And when I came to America, many times I feel so discouraged, but I said, no, somebody has to stay to share the culture and be ambassador for the music. So I'm happy I stayed here over 40 years.
Yes.
And still doing what I did 60 years now from Jamaica. So I am so happy that I stayed and feel so proud of my culture and whoever, continue doing what we do, because our reggae music is such a powerful tool that, it has spread all over the world. I went to Cuba, I went to Mexico, I went to Alaska, I went to Spain, Italy, and I just hear my music all over the world. When I came off the ship in Alaska and I hear 3-piece band down the bottom, one love, one. I felt so joyous and proud. Yes. I said, oh my God, it's beautiful. So those are some of my glories that I really embrace and thank the Lord for giving us such a beautiful culture.
Well, we thank you for your service to reggae music and indeed to Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. Congratulations on your book, My Reggae Music Journey. I would imagine it's available at Amazon and other online sites.
It will be officially released in March, but we are pre-releasing it now, and the proceeds are going to the foundation, PNP Foundation org. So whatever you give, this will be well spent, because we're giving it back to the foundation to help the music industry. So we just like to thank you for this opportunity, and thankful to all the reggae fans, the singers, the musicians, the artists, the DJs, people like you who has brought this program together. We're very, very thankful, and Jamaica will never forget you. One love.
One love to you, and we're going out with this one, Miss Pat, which I'm sure you'll appreciate. She's Royal by Taurus Riley, especially for you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Blessings and love. Happy New Year to everyone. Thanks.
Happy New Year, Mrs. Patricia Chin, author of My Reggae Music Journey. She's co-founder of VP Music Group, and all proceeds from the sale of her book, My Reggae Music Journey, will go to the work of the V&P Foundation.
So one of a kind, until the night that I see you rise. My queen, so sweet. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes, I know the king and queen crown, same time. So I'd never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find. And she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in my life.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:30.
May each day in the week be a good day. May the Lord always watch over you, and may all of your hopes turn to wishes, and may all of your wishes come true. May each day in the month
be a good day. May you make friends with each one you meet, and may all of your daydreams be memories, and may all of your memories be sweet. The weeks turn to months, and the months into years. There'll be sadness and joy, there'll be laughter and tears. But one thing
It's a Thursday afternoon. Get used to it. A Thursday afternoon at 3:30. Time for our brand new feature in this brand new year, 2021. A feature that is brought to you by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, MIIC Live. That's the name of the feature, MIIC Live. Make a note of it, starting this Thursday, this afternoon, right here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, and we're looking forward to learning more with respect to the plans, the vision, the mission, the work of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce going forward. And we look forward to your full participation throughout. We're sure you'll always have questions, you'll have thoughts, ideas, criticisms, etc. And make a note of the time and the day of the week, 3:30 to 4 p.m., 3:30 to 4 p.m. every Thursday, starting this afternoon, right here on both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. And so the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, which is regarded as the business ministry, or the ministry that means business, has been tasked with creating an enabling business environment. In other words, making the general space, the economy, as friendly as possible, the environment, the socioeconomic environment, as friendly as possible to business and as conducive as possible to business. So it's about creating an enabling business environment, one which will grow and sustain industries. It will be about promoting investment and trade and ensuring consumer protection, while fostering gender equity or gender equality and social inclusion in all their policies, programs, and projects. And so it's against the background of social and economic performance that the ministry is seeking to implement programs and developmental initiatives that seek to leverage Jamaica's unique attributes in an effort to achieve the development aspirations outlined in the National Vision 2030 Development Plan. But I'm not the guest. That's just the lead-in. Joining us now to talk about these priority programs and other initiatives being put in place by the ministry, in particular the productive sector, is the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the Honorable Audley Shaw. Happy New Year, Minister Shaw. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm fine. It's nice to talk to you. Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us. And so let's get straight to it. The productive sector. How does the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce view the productive sector?
Well, the productive sector represents the very foundation of economic growth in the economy, and it's a foundation for wealth creation. It's a foundation for adding value. So, in other words, for instance, when you grow things, you don't just sell them fresh anymore. You can process them into all kinds of things. And you're adding value and you're creating more wealth, more jobs, more opportunity.
Yes. Can you give us an idea of some of the priority programs for your ministry, having given us your perspective on the productive sector?
Well, there are so many things that we have to do as a matter of urgency. I think before I even answer you directly, I should remind you and other listeners, especially young listeners, right, that in the 1960s, Jamaica was one of the fast-growing countries in the world.
I remember, I can't say I remember, I wasn't born yet, but I've read that, and I read where the IMF actually held up Jamaica at the time as an example to the rest of the world.
We were growing at 6% per year.
Yes.
And in 1971, the economy in 1 year grew by 11.5%, right? And so Lee Kuan Yew from Singapore came to Jamaica to see what we were doing down here. And he went back to Singapore. Today, their growth rate and their per capita income is $60,000 US. You know what ours is?
5,000 and change, I believe.
Less than $6,000 US.
Yes.
Why? Because we made a change in strategy, and we went and picked up a foolful thing called democratic socialism, right? Anyway, back to your question.
Yes, priorities.
But the strategic priorities of the ministry are multiple. They include the need to strengthen the national quality infrastructure towards a standards-led, market-driven economy. So in other words, right now, we are embracing the ISO 9001, the international standard system. 4 of our agencies have already been certified. Another 14 will be certified by the end of March. And we have another 26 lined up for next year. So in other words, if we want to target the export market, we have got to have a national quality infrastructure that can put us on the global marketplace. So in order to maximize opportunities for growth.
So is that priority number 1?
Absolutely. Then we have to have the implementation of an agribusiness sector strategy. That is to say, doing the integration from what you grow to what you process into different products and into what you export into the global markets. In all of this, we have to enhance the environment for growth and development of our small and medium enterprise sector, because that is really the heart of the growth to grow this economy. You can't do it without MSMEs. They represent 90% of all businesses in Jamaica.
Oh, it's more than I thought. I thought it was 80. Goodness.
It's closer to 90%.
Closer to 90. That's significant.
Okay? That's right. So then we have to strengthen the resilience of the manufacturing and service sectors to be not only growth oriented, but to be globally competitive.
Yes.
We have to enhance consumer empowerment and competitiveness. And finally, we have to strengthen the capacity of the ministry and our agencies to efficiently and effectively implement our programs. Listen, I'm very serious about this one.
Yes.
Because some of our agencies feel that whatever you used to do, you just keep doing it that way. No change, no difference, no improvement. That will not be allowed to stand. So, specific programs that are lined up in line with this question would be the plan, of course, to have increased participation of our small and medium enterprises in the public procurement process, right? In fact, we have set aside a target for them to be able to get 20% of our annual procurement from government, right? We have to strenuously advocate for action on affordable financing for MSMEs. Part of the problem why our small and medium enterprises have not been competitive is that the larger banks have tended to brush them aside.
Yes.
And so we have got to get the development of Jamaica, Bank of Jamaica, the Exim Bank, right, which comes under my ministry. We have to rev them up so they can head to find affordable credit for small and medium enterprises. And finally, I am seeking to get the Minister of Finance interested in supporting a plan to introduce a micro stock exchange. As you know, when I was finance minister, we introduced a junior stock exchange.
Yes.
And that has been tremendously successful because it allowed companies to get formal. First 5 years, no profits tax. Next 5 years, 50% tax on profit. And it has led to a lot of companies entering the stock exchange and growing. And now I want to encourage the finance minister and the government to look at establishing a micro stock exchange. Because the issue here is expand based on equity rather than the expensive borrowing of money.
Makes sense. And
yes.
You outlined the priorities earlier on in terms of what you want to achieve. But in terms of is it that you have already budgeted for for example, the standardization of which you speak, etc.? Have you already budgeted for that, or you'll be seeking that kind of?
No. Well, these are things that are ongoing. Because what we have to do, remember a lot of these things we have to work, for instance, with the different agencies. So, for instance, the ISO 9001 standard, that is being led by one of our agencies in terms of putting in these standards.
Yes.
So it is something we just have to push much more aggressively. Then you move on to things like trade facilitation. We have to do more to make it easier for traders to do business in Jamaica.
Let's talk some more about that after the break. Please, listeners, it's the first episode of MIIC Live. MIIC Live, the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce feature here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. There's more with the Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Laughter and tears
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. It's a brand new feature on both sides of the story. MIIC Live, program of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and the Honorable Audley Shaw, the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, has been sharing with us the general the perspective of the ministry with respect to the productive sector, which we have dealt with, the priority programs which he has outlined, and just now you were going on to talk about trading and being more facilitatory and no doubt more efficient in engendering that kind of a culture, trading culture, Minister Shaw.
Thank you very much. So, as it comes to trading, we have established what we call JSIIFT, J-SWIFT, the Jamaica Electronic Single Window for Trade. Now, this single window is a one-stop shop facility designed to provide fully automated services to enable traders and their representatives to transact all attendant business arrangements online through a single portal for access to the services of all cross-border regulatory agencies, thereby enhancing service delivery to traders by reducing the time and ultimately the cost of doing business. So the operations of approximately 20 state entities that facilitate imports and exports are earmarked for digitization under the Jamaica Single Window for Trade, JSIP, being implemented, hosted, and operated by the Jamaica Customs Agency on behalf of the government of Jamaica. The Trade Board Limited, which reports also to my ministry, is the first company to pilot the full-scale implementation of J-SWIFT with the integration of export facilitation services on Monday, June 22 last year, followed by the incorporation of import facilitation services in July of last year. The feedback obtained from each pilot has resulted in important modifications to J-SWIFT, leading to increased efficiencies. And this, of course, is an ongoing process. And J-SWIFT is meant to help us to not just import easier, but perhaps more importantly, to export easier.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And that would tie in with your strategic objectives at the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, correct?
That is correct. And then we have another area now called the National Business Portal. This was established to facilitate multiple business to government transactions in one online location. So instead of having to go to 10 different agencies to do your business, you are in one online location. The platform aims to strengthen the investment environment in Jamaica by delivering comprehensive information and guidance to facilitate private investment. The website provides detailed guidance on steps to take for myriad government business processes along the lifespan of investment projects. So the NDP will serve as the central point through which all investments are routed, providing transparency and government cohesion. The third phase of the NDP is expected to be completed by the end of this year, which will facilitate direct interface between private investors and various relevant government entities. So there are also several other initiatives to strengthen border agency cooperation. This effort has so far yielded a mechanism to allow for coordinated border inspection, which will mean that instead of a trader interacting with several agencies for goods inspection, for most goods, they will now only have to deal with one main inspector who will inspect on behalf of the other entity. And I want to end this section by saying we have refocused our efforts to have targeted activities geared towards increasing our export. We have to export more. So we have spearheaded the establishment of a manufacturing and export growth team to drive the implementation of strategies and activities geared at increasing and diversifying our exports. A key strategy in increasing our exports is expanding into new non-traditional markets. And let me tell you something. Let me give you a recent example. Recently, Jamaica's ackee and saltfish dish was determined by the National Geographic magazine of the United States as one of the 10 most interesting and popular dishes in the world.
I had no idea.
Yes, just a few weeks ago. And yet, guess what? We do not export ackee and saltfish as a finished product. Right now, we are exporting ackee in the tin, right? But guess what? We need to produce the finished product of ackee and saltfish ready to eat. That just open the can, put it in the microwave or whatever, and voila, you're eating a product from Jamaica.
Except that would have to we would still get the saltfish from Canada.
Yes, but you know, it's still a national dish for Jamaica.
Yes.
And one of these days, if we, when I was in charge of fishing, up to recently, and I know that Minister Green is working with us on this one, is that we need to target deep sea fishing, so eventually we can produce our own local saltfish.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
That's right.
Right. Now,
and then let me just say to you
yes,
that in terms of manufacturing, we have policies, the National Craft Policy. We have a national 5-year manufacturing growth strategy with the DAMPRO and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. We have a national services policy and implementation plan because, you know, for instance, the business process outsourcing business, which is taking off nicely, has potential to create over 100,000 jobs in a very short time. Right? We have other things like the National Bamboo Industry Development Plan. We have a whole range of things that will involve both agriculture and agro-processing.
Well, we know, Minister, last year was quite a turbulent year, and some of that carried over to 2021, connected to COVID-19. Give us a sense of how the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce has responded to some of the most pressing needs of the productive and the services sectors.
Well, you know, there's a saying, my brother, that in every crisis, there's an opportunity. I'll give you an example. In the COVID crisis, the production of toilet paper was sharply has sharply declined in some sections of the United States. And guess what? Jamaica has been producing toilet paper, exporting it to Florida and Atlanta.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
From Jamaica, yes, sir.
But something as sensitive as toilet paper, if we can't make our own, goodness.
Well, we can, not only are we making our own, we from Jamaica are exporting toilet paper to the United States. That tells you, I think is a good example.
Yes.
That if we target in terms of high efficiency levels, high quality, that's why we have the ISO 9001 system. If you target on a platform of high quality, then you can trade competitively on the global market.
Yeah.
So we have embarked, for instance, on a targeted effort to increase exports, as we are fully aware that we have to grow our way out of this pandemic. So we're looking into the strategic engagement of the new nearshore markets. That includes the Caribbean, CARICOM, right? Then, of course, we have other markets. We have CARICOM. We have, and we call CARICOM the single market and economy.
Yes.
But the problem for us is Jamaica has been the single market.
for CARICOM.
But now we have to start exporting to CARICOM.
Yes.
Then there is the diaspora.
Oh, yes.
Floating out there and cannot get Jamaican products.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the third country exotic market that we can also target. And the ackee and saltfish is an excellent example of that. So I know that your time is running up. So
Yes.
I have a lot more to talk to you about.
I'm sure. Well, it is the first.
Get together again.
Yeah, it is the first program. So we could just tack on a bit more time if necessary.
Yeah.
But let's. So are there in terms of the response to COVID-19 and what you've outlined so far? Are those the you've given us a couple of examples, and the toilet paper is an excellent example, in fact. But going forward, are there particular projects, programs that are expected to get underway in the very near future?
Absolutely. In fact, there are companies right now that have turned their attention to the export market. Okay? And they have come to us and they have pointed out to us in some cases where our very Caribbean partners of CARICOM who are exporting to us, some of them are being inhospitable to getting imports from us. And it is something that we have to target in a very, very aggressive way, right? And of course, our local manufacturers know that the quality has to be at the center of their capacity for competitiveness. Mm-hmm. But let me just say to you, and maybe the next time we have our discussion, we can go into considerable detail about plans we have to work with our small and medium-sized enterprises.
One moment, please, Minister. We just take a quick break and come back, and then we'll wrap coming back.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on this first edition of a brand new feature brought to you by the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. And it's called MIIC Live. And we've been hearing from the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, the Honorable Audley Shaw, who obviously has a lot to tell us. We just exhausted the half an hour. We've tacked on a few more minutes just for completion. I'll allow you to complete what you were saying as we were taking the break about the sector, the MSME.
Right. Just want to say that we understand the difficulties that the sector faces, and we are taking a number of very innovative actions, working with the private sector organization Jamaica, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. We have increased the levels of loan guarantees through the Credit Enhancement Facility at the Development Bank of Jamaica. We have created the enabling environment for affordable lending by borrowing less from some of the expensive private sector entities. And of course, listen, I have to remind us of a little history. When I was Minister of Finance, a common feature of the economy inherited from a previous government was high interest rates, right? And I remember a speech I gave. If I had to haul the private sector kicking and screaming into single-digit interest rates, I will. Well, guess what? I did. Yes. And we are now at interest rates of less than 10%. Companies are getting money from Exim Bank at 4.5%, right? We are encouraging the financial institutions lend money to companies that have good business plans. Lend them money at 5, 6, and 7%. Give them a chance to develop and to be competitive and to create wealth. So this is a foundation on which we are going to be building now to help the small and medium enterprises to target markets, to get low cost interest rate loans, right? And to really help them to get rid of the bureaucracy and help them to operate at global standards. So when we meet again, we can go into much more detail on these matters.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to that, Minister Shaw. It's a lot to get through, and you're stimulating interest already. From I'm seeing a message here from Crocs in Black River who says, "Good day, Mr. Malcolm. We were growing at 6% in 1969, but what were the social conditions like?" So that's in reference to what you said earlier on about the growth. So he's obviously saying that yes, the economy was growing in that regard, but then the social conditions weren't up to par.
Well, you can tell the person who made that point needs to understand that in order to adequately take care of the social conditions, you can't go into reverse. You can't go into negative growth. You have to go even more. That's why China is growing at 8, 9, and 10%, COVID or no COVID. So we must find a platform for continuous aggressive growth in the economy. And you can't do that by experimenting with democratic socialism and communism and all kind of foolishness. Jamaicans are people, if they are motivated to go out and make money, and they have the proper environment to do it, they will do it on their own. And that's the environment we have to create for them.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, on this first episode of the ministry's feature, MIIC Live. Looking forward to the next installment, Minister. Thanks a lot. All the best.
God bless you and thank you.
Good.
God bless you.
Take
Thank you.
care. All the best. The Honorable Audley Shaw, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, ending this week's edition, first edition in this brand new year 2021, the first edition of MIIC Live. All things being well, MIIC Live will return next Thursday afternoon, 3:30. More in just a moment. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, which means you can not only send us your WhatsApp messages, but also your text messages, your voice notes, and you can call us directly on WhatsApp. And already, well, you don't need to give Raskava a second invitation to call. He is up and running already, calling us on the text line, which doubles as the WhatsApp number. So he's calling us directly because he has it like that. Raskava, greetings. Thanks for calling. Yes.
Tell me something. I don't know if my radio or me here. Was that really Mr. Shaw Manayard?
Yes.
Don't want to make him sound like woman abroad today, so.
Oh, come on, be kind, Raskava.
No, I don't
You would
know.
have,
I don't know.
you would have heard.
Like Mr. Shaw, that powerful voice, Mr. Shaw, we know. What's the problem?
Yeah, well, you would have if you were following developments in the early stages of the new administration in terms of the swearing in ceremony, you would have realized that Mr. Shaw has been dealing with a health issue, and that is what has impacted his voice.
Well, I know a lot of the listeners would really happy to hear that, because I know he was ill, had an operation, if I remember correctly, but I didn't know it has affected his voice so much. Because I used to admire Mr. Manayard's voice with his powerful, forceful presentations. I know me, I say, no, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But give thanks to hear him still.
Mm-hmm.
And good that he's still in the business of serving the people.
Yes.
One thing I heard him mention, though, is that I did not mention is the smallest business sector people.
The smallest.
The smallest business sector people.
Isn't that the group referred to as micro?
I must be macro that, man. The micro people, them. But they have said nothing about that, because how they classify small business, you know. You have to have 20 and over people, and you're still described as small business. How can that be a small business?
It's not so. It's not only a head count in terms of workers. There's also obviously the revenues of the entity. That's a part of it as well.
Say that in English now.
How much money the business makes.
I thought I know. I was a part of Kind and Small Business Association, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Treasurer.
Yes.
And we were, when it works out to be classified as a small business, you have to have 20 people as to be called. You have large, medium, and small business. So the smaller and smallest business people are always forgotten. So I think this program that he comes with now, I hope he would be having something in it for the smallest business people who might just employ 1 or 2 or 3 persons.
But they would be included in the numbers. Once you talk about micros, MSMEs, he said, which the M for micro, the S for small, and the M for medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs.
But I don't hear anything has ever been said about such people.
Yeah,
I am one of them now. And a lot of us are around that we need retooling, we need financing, we need raw materials, and we need all things. And even within this COVID grant and
which is why he mentioned the DBJ, the Development Bank of Jamaica. The government apparently allocated additional funds to be on lent to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises.
Loan?
Yeah.
We're talking about the grant that was given to people who never needed it. And the people who needed it never did get any. You see, the business that can take a loan now, first, them have to have the outlet for their produce. And not like the small farmers who produce rats in the field because they closed down AMC where they could have carried their goods and sell it and go back and produce some more. And that is one backward move that they made when they closed down AMC and Spanish Town Road. And you see, if they don't, I've given Jam Pro photographs of my work that they promise that they'll get back in touch with me. They don't get back, so most likely they take it, get their friends to go produce it. And I just too many copyright it.
No, but you can't make a claim like that. A wild claim like that, Rascal. But
why they don't get back to me as they promise? I am left to think anything now.
Well, there are ways to hold them accountable for that.
By what?
If you
calling them when they said me not call, they will call me.
Well, you have the raw meat, don't you?
No, sir, I don't need it. You know, so you disrespect me sometimes and I'm very diplomatic.
No, it's no disrespect, Rascava. Where's your sense of humor? Come on, man. That's
why I take it so humorously.
No, seriously. The point is you're trying to get your business up and running or supported or financed or otherwise enhanced so that you can be even more productive and provide a job or two here or there and help us to grow the economy. And if you're trying to do that and you find that there are individuals in the system who are being less than efficient or even proficient in dealing with these matters, then I would call back and ask for the supervisor or the manager or whoever that person that person reports to.
Who always in a meeting, and they'll call and they'll get back to you. Brethren, you actually, go through the ropes, at the end of the line.
Don't make assumptions, Rascava. Please don't make assumptions about I don't go through the ropes.
Most times, when you want to reach beyond the supervisor or the people at the front desk, even your station, more time you want to reach the program director or the program manager, and he's in a meeting, he's not in, leave your number, he'll call you back. No. They don't call me back.
All right. One moment, please, Rascava.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
The Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, in association with our coffee farmers, Jamaica Promotions Corporation, and Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority, celebrate their third recognition of Jamaican Blue Mountain Coffee Day on January 9, 2021. Join the events and activities such as the official church service, coffee shop crawl, discounts, promotion in our missions in Japan, New York, Miami, London, Toronto, and much more. For more information, visit their website at www.jamaicacoffee.org.
Come true. May each day in the month be a good day. May you make friends with each one you meet.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16. 现在几点了？4点16分。16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you've had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable, education makes you trainable, training makes you employable, and the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Raskaba, we're quite familiar with your plight when it comes to calling people at offices, whether public or private, and seemingly getting the runaround. And I'm totally against that kind of thing, which is why from as far back as I can remember, I have been giving people my number. I don't want people who want to reach me not being able to reach me. I don't need anybody to police my calls. I take all my calls, but obviously not everybody is like that. But those who are assigned within companies and businesses and operations, whether in the private sector or the public sector, need to, especially in this time of COVID-19, where we're encouraging people not to turn up and have people bungling and, at all different places and so on, that those of us who are answering the phones and doing business with our fellow Jamaicans over the phones need to take it seriously and need to follow through and follow up and redirect, if necessary, the calls so that people feel that they're getting something done. They're getting work is being done, progress is being made, a breakthrough is underway. I know the feeling, Raskaba, I do.
Yeah, if even our prime minister that we voted in have to, you dare not call a number that you talk to the prime minister confidentially about whatever is happening in his constituency or in Jamaica or your personal problem. You go through some secretary, they say permanent one or the one whenever permanent. Then you have to tell them why you want to talk to the prime minister, like after them alone prime minister. If you want to go to the parish council, the municipal meeting, you have to seek appointment. And when you go there, you just have to sit down and listen. And no matter the problem when you come to tell them to happen, no space that they feel talk and say that. Yeah. And you are the taxpayer, you are the one on the ground, know what's happening. Right now, some water run up the sun. I don't know if all the people in the yard are on the street. They go to the yard, look where I call who live there, nobody knows me. And to find out if NWC or the commission, they go to NWC to report a leak and a valve that on the Mapen Bridge where people go underneath the bridge under the river use it as bathroom. How it run hard and turn in a shower. I go there to tell them say that pipe needs fixing them and say me have to go take ticket and join line. Just to tell them say one pipe needs so one fix. I don't have the time to go stand up and do that even though me still have to go pay for the water.
Yes.
So, they're not get through to the people who we want unless somebody find out why you are calling. And if they don't like why you're calling and why you want to talk to them, you don't get through.
Yeah, it's an area that we have fallen down fall down in. And what is quite ironic, Raskaba, is the fact that Jamaica is a hot item when it comes to international business people searching for backroom operations, call center operations, business process outsourcing. Jamaica is a key market in this region for that kind of service. So we're known for delivering quality customer service within these outsourcing businesses. But when we have to do it for our own people in our own country, it seems that we fall down on the job, or it's non-existent. But we really have to do better than that. I agree with you, Raskava, in
Right,
terms
and I
of.
hope that
Mhm.
you can get someone within this slot. I don't know if it's just commerce alone or other ministries can fit in or create one to themselves, that they address those problems.
Yeah.
Because they put somebody at the front desk to protect them, you know. And I don't know why they're protecting themselves from whom.
Yeah,
But
well, it,
as
it,
I
it
say,
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Every public sector agency or ministry or any business, anybody associated with any business in Jamaica listening to us now, what we're saying is do an audit of your customer service, your customer service department, your customer service people, the people who are answering your phones, the people who are answering your phones. You need a unit, depending on the nature of your operations. There has to be a unit that is not just taking the call and say, okay, he's not here now. Okay, can I take a message? And that's it. And then the message gets lost somewhere. We have to stop that because it doesn't augur well for the level of efficiency and productivity that we're striving for, or should be striving for, in this country.
and that mean a lot of things that should have reached those persons' ears don't get the chance to reach there.
And especially things that could make a difference, information
Right.
that could make a difference for the betterment of whether that enterprise or all of Jamaica. You're perfectly
Definitely.
correct. Excellent point, Raskaba.
And as I move on, and a little more humorous note on your quote that you read this morning, when the man I say you must
This morning.
this afternoon,
Mhm.
what is the function or functions of your heart?
What is the function or functions of your heart? The heart is a key component of the body in terms of pumping the blood and the circulation and just keeping the body going. Without it, we're dead.
Right. So in other words, the heart is one of the other organs that pumps blood to the brain, and the brain sends signals to all the other organs that you can function.
Yes.
So why does the man who you read his quote and say, if you open your heart, why must some people go have open heart operation? Why not say open your mind and that you can think?
Raskava, if I were a drinker, I would have said you'll have to buy a round for all of us.
All right, so laughter is the best medicine. We need to laugh some more. Too much things they have to make me frown.
Indeed. Oliver Masters
God bless
agrees. He says both of you are the bestest of friends. I say having a good laugh. So
Thank you.
take care.
All right.
All right, take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Let's clear the messages. So we were only able to get in a piece of Crocs in Black River's message. I was wondering what happened to Crocs the other day. We hadn't heard from him in a while. So usually when discussions come up about the performance of the Jamaican economy in the 60s, so much so that Jamaica was held up as a poster child to the rest of the world, the counter to that is usually, it's only one set of people were benefiting, and what were the social conditions like, as Crocs is asking. According to him, rampant hunger, nakedness, and illiteracy among the majority population. discrimination against the majority black population in terms of certain jobs and opportunities, low wages and poor treatment of workers. Some of us should be eternally grateful, uh, Crocs. And Crocs, we're in tune with every single aspect of your message and even your choice of words. We haven't missed a thing. So he says, some of us should be eternally grateful to Michael Manley for allowing us the opportunity to attend certain schools like Calabar. No, it wasn't Michael Manley why I was able to attend Calabar High School. I sat the common entrance exam. Sat the common entrance exam and I passed and matriculated to go to Calabar High School. And Crocs says free of charge. That is not true, Crocs in Black River. I still have the letter that was sent to my mom from the Ministry of Education. I still have that letter, that common entrance letter. And yes, it did say free place. Your son has been awarded a free place at Calabar High School. But we still had to pay, Crocs in Black River. Still had to pay. And he says, which gave us opportunity to become the JLP opportunists that we are today. So Crocs is now a JLP opportunist. Well, Crocs, I had no idea that you were at that point. I don't know if it's a New Year thing that you'd like to label yourself as being becoming a JLP opportunist. Well, if it is, you're free so to be, Crocs in Black River. Thank you very much for your message. All the very best to you. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine says, shout out to all the listeners from across the world. And he has left us a voice note, which we'll have to listen to off air to determine whether we can play it on air. Clarky Bless in Huntstown, St. Mary says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. The Audley Show you're speaking to is our Minister of Industry. Yes, Industry Investment. It's MIIC, Industry Investment and Commerce. Clarky Bless in Huntstown, St. Mary. And let's see, Miss B in St. Mary says, my teacher, good evening to you. Please tell the minister that we can do Aki and children bits or pork. Children bits. That must be an error. Bits or pork for those who eat it. Miss B from St. Mary. We have to turn our hands, says Miss Lou, says Miss B in St. Mary. Thank you very much for your message, Miss B in St. Mary. This one now, H. Morgan in Birmingham says, Mr. Malcolm, good evening again. Well, good afternoon to you. I know it's evening time or more like, what time is it now? More like nighttime in England right now. Good to be on your program once again. Despite the island of Jamaica is such a wonderful island, I wonder why some of these people who have been working in the government entities don't give up the job so that those who want to work and do what they are employed to do. I wonder, Mr. Malcolm, if any of the government offices have a working telephone. All the government offices I have called so far, no one answers the phone. That if the phone rings, some of them, the phone is non-existent. So Rascarver is correct, so correct. I give up calling them now. My only option is to close all my affiliation with all businesses in Jamaica. We really hope it doesn't come to that, H. Morgan. But please share with us the information so that we can direct it to those who are able to take action or to investigate situations where you call nonstop, day in, day out, and are still not getting through.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
We see you 2021?
Now it's time for the Happy New Year we've been waiting for.
What are your goals this new year? Is it owning a home, land, or vehicle? How about growing your business? We've helped you through 2020, and we'll help you achieve your financial goals this new year with affordable terms, competitive rates, and our CIBC First Caribbean Client First service. Let's work together. Visit CIBCFCIB.com to learn more, or call us toll free at 1-866-743-2257. CIBC First Caribbean, terms and conditions apply.
A day full of love.
¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 5 menos 29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 29. 现在几点了？5点cha ar shi jiao fen. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Miss B obviously made an error in her message. She meant chicken bits. So ackee and chicken bits are pork for those who eat it. Raskava? No, you're going to have to do an ITEL mix for Raskava, Miss B. ITEL mix. No Trenton around here. Oh boy, where are we? Let's go to Errol in Spanish Town. Errol is not sure whether he wants to send us that message or not. He keeps deleting the message. Well, let's see. Let's see who else is messaging us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Venus. We haven't heard from Venus in a while. Let's see. Venus on our text line, 876-365-3346 says, Hi, Dervan. All the best for the new year to you and family. You know, Dervan, read this on the Congress yesterday. I heard a commentator yesterday saying it's a coup, and in the evening talking about who going to resign because of what Trump encouraged. There is this news media that captured an Antifa man on the Congress floor yesterday. They showed you the Antifa on the bottom of his jacket or shirt. So the crowd was infiltrated by Antifa. Mr. Biden called them an idea. Why the leaders of the world did not call out Biden when Antifa and BLM burning down the cities and killing people in the US. Also, this commentator talking about a coup. He was quiet when this burn down was happening. The hate for the rich man Trump, real hypocrites they are. I saw where 32,000 for Purdue. No, I'm not going to read the rest of that because then we would be joining you in peddling in unverifiable information. Let's move on. So essentially, Crocs buys into the, not Crocs, Venus. Venus buys into the business of questioning the integrity of the election, and she's actually referencing Giuliani, some YouTube video. She says, Venus, thank you very much for your message. Freedom of choice, freedom of expression, freedom of association. So it is. But you know what we always say. People are free to do whatever they want to do. People are free to be whatever they want to be, so long as that freedom does not infringe on another person's freedom. How about that? Thank you very much. Let's go to, oh dear, I think we've been neglecting those on Facebook Live. Can we go to those messages? Sorry about that. Let's go to the messages that have been pouring in on Facebook Live. Whoa, where do we start? Inez Campbell Brown in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Hello. Audrey Smith in Southampton, UK. Harlem Uptown in New York says, just want to big up Negril police soldiers. They are very friendly and helpful, especially the younger ones. Elder Vincent Mattock says, God bless you. Be strong in Jesus' name. Thank you, Elder Vincent Mattox. Sharon Wiles says, oh yes, well, I did respond to that already, Sharon Wiles. With respect to that video, you might want to check it. Don't be too quick just check the video. If you watch it carefully, you would recognize that that's an old video from an old rally as opposed to video from Capitol Hill yesterday. Maggie Williams says, the road from Highgate to Pear Tree Grove is a total mess. The potholes are a pain for the cars, etc. There are sections you can't avoid a pothole. You have to go into it. May I beg the person, please fix the road, whoever it is. Car a cry. Not even donkey can go up on the road. Him will broke him foot, says Maggie Williams. Sorry to hear of that road situation. This is the road from Highgate to Pear Tree Grove, over to the MP and the councillors. The road from Highgate to Pear Tree Grove. And is that an NWA road? Sounds that way. Sounds like a main road from Highgate to Pear Tree Grove. Check it out, NWA. Perhaps you could check it out as well. And Norman Hines, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much. Sylviana Johnson, good day to you. Inez Campbell Brown says, good afternoon, everyone. I'll reserve my thinking about Trump and his followers. Won't stoop to their level. Oliver Masters says, both of you are the bestest of friends, in reference to Raskava and having raw meat. Lady Jean Beverly King says, hi, Dervan. Good afternoon. Greetings to the team of Power 106. I love the theme song. I would like to dedicate it to you, Raskava, and you, roast meat, the DWL. Thank you. It's not roast meat. It's raw meat. Golden Brown, good afternoon to you. And Golden Brown says, numero uno, how are you? That's not me. Numero uno is Don Topping. El numero uno, Don Topping. Anyway, thank you very much for your message, Golden Brown. Hello to Miss Olive in Portmore. What are you cooking?
I'm not in Portmore. I'm at KPH waiting for my appointment.
Okay, KPH.
Yes. My clinic starts at 2:30 going on. I don't know what time I'm going to go home tonight. So you might have to come spend the night with me.
Miss Olive, behave yourself.
But you're not so, I forget, so you're not downtown like before. You're not downtown not street like you used to be. There's me. No, sir. Anyway, Dervan.
Yes.
Tell Venus. Venus need to go back to Mars. After what took place yesterday in America, I don't know who could be on Trump's side unless they are just like him. I have told people many, many times that Trump has only.
But you'd be surprised that I mean, for you to say that, I mean, think about it though. Who could be on the devil's side?
A good question.
Yeah, well, you see, it's a story of life. However you look at it, some people say how you can be a PNP, or how you could have be a JLP, or me could have never be a PNP, or me could have never be a JLP.
But Dervan,
yes,
if the man's mother can caution people about making him president, his mother.
His mother?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
When?
I have a picture. Somebody sent me a picture with his mother when she was alive, and him as a younger person.
And you heard his mother saying that?
And this what I read. I am not 100%. I'm not going to say.
Careful now, Miss Olive, because
yes, I understand what you're saying.
Just as though we accuse people of fake news and so on. There's a lot to go around on both sides, actually.
I know that. But then what you see, what he has done to his family, from he was a young person up until when him run everybody account thing there. When everybody in a bankrupt, whoever him to run into bankrupt. And his niece can come out against him big time. And she's not lying. We have to
the niece, I remember that leaked clip or recording. I remember that one, but I don't know about the mother.
Yeah. But from what they are, and the sister who was the judge, who wanted to, I don't know if she has written the book yet, but she was thinking of writing a book. So many people, Dervan, could not be wrong. This man just opened the door. America has always been like that, but them never have the cahoots to show them true colors. Trump opened the door for them. When I saw what happened yesterday, Dervan, I was not people. Oh, I'm shocked. I was not shocked, and I live in Jamaica. I was living in America for a while, and I am not shocked, and I will never be shocked about what happened in America, because they might do this for a long time. With the Black Friday, as I told you before, and the Boxing Day, and the whatever, and the Thanksgiving and things, I have no use for them something, because they are all just hate black people with a passion. When I see some black people in the crowd yesterday, I say, is these people for real? Eh? How can you like a man like that don't like, you know? The
Well,
man needs to
again,
go to jail,
different strokes for different folks. There are people who, just as how there are people who will follow Bustamante till they die,
I'm dead.
and
I remember those songs.
people who love Joshua gone to bed, and they will tell you they are manly socialists as opposed to etc. etc. So it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. It's just that it manifests itself in different forms.
In different ways, yes,
right?
That's true.
But I'm grateful, and I'm grateful to my parents and all those who had anything to do with my life in terms of my socialization, that I have never ever felt beholden to
anybody. I said the same thing.
In fact, I in thinking about reflecting on that, I came up with a quotation: do not allow anything or anyone to control you to the point where you lose control of yourself.
Of yourself. True.
And that
my
is,
mother taught me something similar.
Yeah.
And be a leader, not a follower.
That's right.
Yeah. But Dervan, when I sit down yesterday and watch CNN, not CNN, NBC at first, and then I turned to MSNBC. And when you see them all like climb up on the wall, I say, Mr. Trump, better forget about the Mexican war, you know, because if them can't kind of war. And I mean, it was pathetic. My God, the wonderful America who is going all over the world to tell people how to run them show. No, sir. People have to really sit down and think again. This man needs to go to jail.
Well, that's like saying, what's the matter with the world? Has the world gone mad? And then responding that nothing's wrong with the world. It's the people who are in it. So technically speaking, nothing is wrong with America. It's the people, in America. Same thing with Jamaica. Nothing is wrong with Jamaica. It's the people in Jamaica.
Anyway, they're on.
Yeah.
I wait for you. The doctor called me. I don't know when.
Well, I love your energy. I love what I'm hearing. So you sound like you're in fine fettle.
Dervan,
either that or you wear it well.
My son says my name is not Olive on my birth certificate is KTH.
All right, I have to run to the break. Thank
Okay,
you.
darling, you have a
Take
good
care.
one.
Be
Bye-bye,
safe.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
The year 2020 challenged the best in all of us, and we survived. Help us to celebrate the resilience of persons in your parish, those that you believe truly exemplified Jamaica's resilience in 2020. Send in their contact information and your reason for nominating them to honораwards@gleanajm.com. Message us at Jamaica Gleaner on all our social media channels or upload your nomination to go-jamaica.com/honor-awards-nominations/. See the Gleaner for details.
Over you, and may all of your hopes turn to wishes, and may all of your wishes come true. May each day in the month be a good day. May you make friends with each one you meet, and may all of your daydreams.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:13. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5h moins 13.现在 几点了？5点cha 13分. 13 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Hello to Jennifer Stewart from Q Road in Kencott. Good to see you online. Thank you for watching us on YouTube, on the Dervan Malcolm YouTube channel. Harris Suraj says, hi, Mr. Dervan. Good afternoon. Happy New Year. Be safe and be blessed. I won a prize once when you broadcast from Savannah Lamar. Incidentally, it was a book written by Donald Trump. LOL. Thank you very much, Harris Suraj, for your message. Here's another, this one on WhatsApp from H. Morgan in Birmingham. He says, I tried to contact the Ministry of Social Security at 18 Ripon Road. No answer. I think, is that the NIS? I think that's the NIS at Ripon Road. The Accountant General, no response. The Post Office, you yourself did try this one. No response. The Ministry of Finance, no response. Are these places still in existence? Well, tying back into the point that was made by Raskava earlier on, it's a serious issue. It's very serious. We get an opportunity to change lives, to give people hope, to give people a sense of purpose when they call our offices, whether public or private, and some of us take it for a joke, as opposed to properly directing the call or following up to or following through to ensure that those who were meant to get the message get the message. Now, it's one thing for those who get the message to pass on the message. It's another thing for the person to whom the message was sent. When that person gets the message, whether that person responds or not. Now, that's another part of the equation, because no doubt there are fine receptionists and communications persons listening to us right now who will tell you that they religiously make sure that when they get messages, communications, they share the information or pass it on to the relevant individual, unit, division, department, etc. And so it's then left up to the department. But we have to do better than this, because we're in an age now where we are trying to minimize physical contact or physical presence, people having to physically go to a business place, go to a government agency, go to a ministry, etc. And so if we're going to do that effectively, we have to have quality people manning the phones, quality people passing on the messages, and quality people following up with those who they've passed the messages on to, just to get a sense of completion. We have too many situations where people are left hanging and nobody follows up, nobody brings the matter to a conclusion within a reasonable time, etc. We have to do better in that regard. No phone should be ringing more than once or twice at this time when we're encouraging more people to call instead of turning up to business places, offices, etc. We have to do better than that. Thank you very much for your message, H. Morgan in Birmingham. Errol in Spanish Town says, "Hi, Dervan. It's nice to hear Mr. Shaw again, wishing him all the best, and think Mr. Trump should be removed from office immediately as he is a security threat to America and would imagine inciting a threat to America and the world. Imagine inciting people to violence and coup. He is dangerous," says Errol in Spanish Town. Also, let's go to this one. Mr. Malcolm, this Trump disciple, Venus, who sent you lies about Antifa, is obviously one of the gullible, misguided followers who thinks Trump is Messiah and can do no wrong. Venus needs to understand that America embarked on a grand experiment in 2016 and voted in, and this person has a particular description for Mr. Trump, which we will not repeat because will not repeat. And the rest of the message, now that they have come to realize their mistake and decided to throw him out, he and his followers are trying to burn down the place. Birds of a feather flock together. Thank you very much for your message. But again, we know people have been angry, upset, concerned, disappointed, disaffected, and angered by the comments and the actions of the incumbent in the White House. But let's just a gentle reminder that as we are condemning people and criticizing people, and that's all human nature, be careful that we don't become the people we condemn. In other words, I think we've talked about that before on this program. Don't need to go back over that again. Just be careful that we don't become those who we condemn. Because we're off. Yeah. Let's leave it there. I'll just leave it there. Be careful that we don't become those we condemn. That's all we're saying. And let's go to this one. Couple of messages on the text line. Horace Johnson, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your message. Happy and wonderful day to you too. Tyrone Bernard says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan Malcolm. Please let your audience know that every problem is solvable, whether it be a mathematical problem, spiritual, psychological, or emotional. They are all solvable. It is up to the individual to find and apply the solution. This will not be understood until it is thoroughly contemplated. Maybe we can discuss it at length when the opportunity presents itself. Thank you very much, Tyrone Bernard, for your message on our text line, 876-365-3346, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 246. Let's go to another message or two before we have to wrap today's edition. What did I say I wanted to share? There's something in this publication. Something that we came across. We want to thank the team, the publishers of Jamaica Business Magazine. Jamaica Business Magazine. Thank you very much for always sending me a copy. JamaicaBizOnline.com for more information. There is a story we wanted to highlight. Oh dear, where is it? This one. We had read it before, but here it is. Fontana increases first quarter profits by 146%. Can you imagine increasing your profits by 146%? Despite the economic disruption caused by COVID-19, pharmacy and retail chain Fontana Limited was able to record significant growth for its first quarter ended September 30, 2020. Net profit for the period under review increased to 45.2 million, a 146% improvement from the 18.4 million recorded in the previous corresponding period. It's just another reminder that even in so-called bad times or difficult times or challenging times or tough times, there are opportunities. And there are those who take advantage of those opportunities. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Thursday, the 7th of January, 2021. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
May you make friends with each one you meet, and may all of your daydreams be memories, and may all of your memories be sweet. The weeks turn to months, and the months into years. There'll be sadness and joy, there'll be laughter and tears. But one thing I pray to heaven above, may each of your days be a day full of love. May each day in the year be a good day. May each dawn find you happy and gay, and may all of your days be as lovely as the one you shared with me today. May each day of your life be a good day and good night.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.